I'd like to welcome you to our online demo today. Our topic will be integrated software solution for the furniture. My name is Ingo, and I'd like to present you today some of our functions in imos, how to customize the furniture from the design process to the production, and later on we will have also a look into a sales solution in imos Plan. I will give an overview about imos Cut, so the design tool. We will have a look into the organizer, which is one of our major tools to organize the production by paperwork, by projects, with all the reports we would like to display to you today. The organizer is also necessary to organize the sales functions in terms of calculation, in terms of creating quotation. You can customize your own quotations. It is also important for download information from the supplier industry and so on. After the organizer, we will have also a look into the CAM solution, how to connect to CNC machines. We will create some CNC files. We will open that in the software of the CNC machines. And then we will also create an article in a sales catalog. So in imos we also provide a solution to create your own sales catalog. And then we will do in the imos Plan a floor plan with submitted drawings. We will do some renderings. We will do the information for the production out of it, and we customize then the quotation. First we have a look to the organizer. That is the surface, the front end of the organizer. Here in the organizer we can organize our production. We can download our information from the supplier industry. I will start to have a short look on our design catalog. In the organizer you just tick on it, and then it comes up a window for download the information of the supplier industry. Here, for example, we have a package from Blum. We have a package from Turkey, Chebi, it's a handle supplier. Egger for sure. Grass is a big supplier. Hettich anyhow, and Heffler, for example. Here in Heffler, for example, the latest version was updated by Heffler by themselves in September 2014. The language is English, and the minimum requirement is imos 11 SR2 for it. And this package you can download. It is 1,800 megabyte, including the package. We have all the drawings of every component which Heffler supplied to our industry, like hinges, drawer sets, and so on. And also the information later on when we put that hardware into a furniture, where and how we have to drill. The same from the other suppliers. We have some German packages as well. We have a Lamello package and so on. So all these packages you are able to download, set up in your database, and use it in your design process. The same if I open my element manager. In the element manager you have some calculation center where you can calculate your furniture, your projects. You could have a calculation principle, set it by your own self. For example, if I make a new one here, I go on it and I say, okay, I like to have a calculation principle for my Indian sales shop in Delhi, for example. We like to have an overhead cost of 65.2% of my costing of the material. We like to have a profit of 55.21. We like to have a commission of 45.1, and so on. So this new calculation principle, we save it here in our database, and now we have that in the calculation principles. Later on we will use it for customized quotation. The same for the cost center. In the cost center we have all the different cost samples from your production. We have the assembly team who costs 80 cents per minute, for example. We have a CNC machine which has a costing of 3.5 euro per minute. We can save that for a BizU machine. We can save, okay, we have here a new machine from SCM, and the costing should be 23.1 per minute. We save that, and now we have the new cost center of the SCM machine. The same we can do in different operations. So the operations are linked to the cost center, to the machines, for example. How much is it drilling? So we can count also by drilling for the costing. I go back to my element manager and have a look into the reports. In the reports we can organize all the manufacturing reports like part list, cutting list, purchase part list, and so on. This we can customize also in the organizer. Last but not least, we have also a sales import manager where we can import all the sales projects from our sales offices if we have a local office in, for example, Mumbai, and our headquarters is in Delhi, or we have our headquarters in Singapore and we have some sales office in Middle East, and so on. So from there we can import all the sold projects and organize the information for our production. These are some small information about the organizer. Later on we will see the organizer also, how we will use it. And there are many more possibilities to install the solution in the organizer. Now I will start with imos. In imos we have some possibility to design furniture. We have an article configuration solution, an object configuration solution, and a part designer where we can configure also furniture panel by panel in some different shapes. We can create loft parts, we can create part from polyline, and so on. But the major design tool will be the article designer. And we have also a catalog, a sales catalog or a furniture catalog, which we can create by ourselves. We have, for example, here two catalogs. The simple one comes with the standard software in imos, and we can create our own catalog. Here, for example, I have 4 categories. I have a living room catalog, a kitchen catalog, a closet, and an office furniture catalog, which I can customize by myself. If I open, for example, the living room catalog, there's only one furniture in it, and it is in between with glass doors. What we do today is also we will add on one more side panel or sideboard for the living room catalog, a TV board, for example. We can go for the kitchen catalog where we have some furniture, sample furniture involved in. If I open one, I came to the configuration, and out of the design we give them some limitations and also the solution or the possibility to change the material, the decor material for the car case, and for the doors as well. We give them also a handle type and so on. So all this information we can save, we can upload in the design manager in our catalog, who will be used in sales later on. So consider in the living room we will add on one more item, sideboard, and now we will start to configure this sideboard. I will open the article designer, and in our article designer we have 3 possibilities to design an article. We can choose either from the top view, from the front view, or from the side view. I will start an article from the top view, and this is our article designer front end where we can set up the dimensions. We can go for 450 millimeter in the height for our TV board. The width could be 2300 millimeter, and the depth is maybe 555. These dimensions we can change anytime. the software is designed to have a parametric function behind. So once I change the size, also the inner design will change according to my configuration in a parametric way. So anytime we can change it. We start with the left side panel. I just tick on the sign here for the left side panel, and we see for my part definition there is a side panel with a code of 2000. 2000 means that we have here 4 edges. The first edge is applied with 2 mm edge banding. The other one without edge banding. We will have a look in imos. We transfer it to our Autodesk environment. We give them a name. Sideboard underline new. And we transfer it to our Autodesk environment. Now we just have here the side panel and nothing more. What we can do right now is we can increase our BizU manager level from 3 to 4, for example. And now we see here there's also the edge banding. If I like to change and like to have also here on the other 3 sides an edge banding, maybe in paper edge, I go back to my configuration, to my side panel, and have a look in my database. Here I choose in side panel 2000. Here is the description. 2000 means 1 edge banding in the front with 2 mm edge banding. Now I choose another one, the side panel 2111, and the picture also is displaying to us that the front edge is in thickness of 2 mm and the other one is 0.3. If I go into the details of this part definition, we have here the number of edges. Number 1 is with a thick edge banding. That's why we have here the 2 in front, and the other one with 0.3. We can have a look in each edge. For example, in edge number 2, 3, or 4, we go for 3. We have a look in here, and we see now there is an edge banding of 0.3 mm. My default color is Zebrano, but this is just a setting for my computer, my defaults. It is up to you to change it to another default color, and you have that in a beige or in an oak color, whatever you want. We save it, go back to the AutoCAD environment, and now we will see that here is also the paper edge is applied on. This is very important information because the edge banding and the thickness is also affecting our cutting list later on for the core material of the board for the side panel. I will now start to configure my sideboard a little bit faster. I add on a side panel for the right side, bottom panel, and a top shelf. I like to have here a base construction. For that, we go into our description for the base construction. We set a toe kick here. We can say the toe kick should be independent, or we say it should be an inset principle. For a living room furniture, it makes sense to have an inset principle. It's a standalone furniture. And we have now here the panels, the side panels, which go through, and between that we have the toe kick. We give them also a back panel, and we will have a look how is the configuration in my AutoCAD environment. We see now here that we have here the side panel with the toe kick. We have here the connectors, a dowel and cam fitting, and we have the base construction. We have the back panel, which has a grooving for the side panel, for the top shelf, and for the bottom shelf. Because I like to design a TV sideboard, I like to have here now a shelf which is an onset principle plus an overlapping of maybe 24 mm. For that, I go into my configuration and I go to the database for the top shelf, and I say no, I do not like to have an inset principle. I like to have an onset principle, And the connection of the on-site principle should be with cams only or with dowels, with a screw. I like to have an on-site principle with dowel and cam. I choose now the first one with 2202 edge bending code. So we see that here front edge is with 2 mm, the side edge as well, and the back edge is without. We have an overlapping of 20 mm. I like to change that to 24, for example, to 24 and to 24. Agree with it? Now we have here an overlapping. We have a look in our AutoCAD environment. Here is the overlapping with the edge bending. We choose again a dowel and a cam connection. And we can have a look on the dimensions, the overlapping, which I saved in the database. It's exactly 24 mm for the side. And from the front, we have the same situation. Okay, I will delete my dimension information, and now I like to involve in some drawers, and some adjustable shelves. I go back to my configuration and start with the inner design of my sideboard. For that, I choose the dividers, and we have in imos the parametric information or the parametric solution that we can set some linear divisions. We will that first. We will do some partitions, and we say I like to have 5 partitions. Now, what we have in imos here, I set a linear division which should divide my cabinet into 5 zones. The first zone should have a single division dimension, and the middle one should have the double division dimension. If I change now my width to 3 meters, for example, we will calculate the divisions or the zones in equal divisions according to my linear division here. I also can set up fixed information like 600 mm. Now the middle one is exactly 600. I can say you should have the 600 from middle to middle panel, from the inner dimensions, or from middle to middle, or from outside to outside. This is up to the designer. Sometimes it's important to have it from panel to panel, so exactly 600 between the middle panels. When you set up in kitchen some certain devices like an oven or like a microvolume oven or some different items which you purchase according to your kitchen idea. If I change now the width, the 600 will be still 600. So if I go to 1.2 meter, this is still 600, and the other one, very small one, but it's equal. If I go back here to 2, we will have the division according to my width of 1200. I go back to 2.2 meters, or make it a little bit bigger, 2.3 meters. I activate the first zone. I like to have a door in front, and I like to have also an adjustable shelf in it. We can say we like to have the shelf 1 to 1, so it's exactly in the middle of the configuration. If I change now the height to 1.2 meters, we will see it is changing the zones, but the panel is still in position. If I say, okay, I like to have that 170 millimeter from the bottom, we see now it is fixed 170 from the bottom, and the zone is flexible. So if I go back to 500, for example, still in the middle, but fixed by 170 millimeter. If I like to have the same configuration on the right side, we can do in the same way, or we just copy it and paste it. We just change the drawer from the left to the right side. In this zone, we like to add on some drawer sets. We go now to our database, and remember the first I showed to you in the organizer how to download the information from the supply industry. We have now here the folder iFern, so I download the packages of Blum and Hefler. First of all, I choose a Blum drawer. I choose the first Blum pull-out drawer system, and later we will see that we have installed a Blum tandem Legra box. Again, we just copy it and paste it. In the middle one, we will set an adjustable shelf. And we finish with our configuration. We save it, overwrite the name, and now we will have in imos the complete cabinet, including the hardware of my configuration. We see now that we have here two drawers. We have a door, we have handles, we have here the hinges, we have here the cam connections, and so on. I go back to my wireframe and I like to have an overview about my hardware which are in my cabinet. For that, I mark the cabinet and I start my connection scan. The connection scan is one of our tools to scan all the hardware which are designed or which are used into my latest design in my sideboard. So I get now a list of all the hardware which is involved in my cabinet. And according to the list, I also get the possibility to change the hardware. For example, we have here the handle. There's this handle here, and I like to change it. If I tick here on the handle which is involved as a default in my cabinet, I got a list which will match the same position in my, or the same connection in my sideboard. So here we have a list of all the hardware from Hettich, from Cebi, from Hefler, from also from local suppliers. And if I change it here, I'll just tick on the Cebi handle with the code of 096 and so on. I like to change my cam connection or my door connection. I change the Blum clip to maybe a Blum clip 100, 200, and 100. And we change the other handle connection from Hettich to, I will leave it like in Hettich. We will see now that this handle and also the drilling for the handle is changing according to my new one. I tick on it. Now we see that the handle is changing and also the hinge was changing. And with the hardware, we got also information for the drilling. So the hardware, the connectors give us a position where we have to drill and how we have to drill. The next I like to do is I like to have the sideboard with a curved top shelf. For that, I isolate the top shelf. We can do that in two things. We can, in two ways, we can design on polyline and then we apply the edge to the polyline, which is very simple to do. Or we make it in parametric way. We go to our edge, we select the front edge, we go to the contour of the front edge, now it's linear, and we change it to 150 millimeter, for example. Now this is 150 millimeter. It is recalculating also the connection to the other parts. In my point of view, 150 is a little bit too much. So I like to set up a contour with 85, for example. I go to the contour. We see there's no 85 involved in, so we create a new one. I create now a contour with a name of 85 millimeter for the live demo. We say here now the point of y direction is minus 85. We save it to our database. Now we have here a new one, a new contour. We apply it, and now it is 85 millimeter. We go back to our cabinet. We finish with the design. The next, what we like to have is the information for my production. As I told you, the organizer will bring out all the reports. For that, we have to make a document manager run. We start our document manager. We tick on the program generator. We give them a name. Sideboard underline new. Now the imos software is asking me for what kind of machine I like to create my CNC files for every panel. It is now coming up a window for my CAM center. In my computer I have installed some machines, some BizU machines, for example, a BizU Rover, a Skipper. We have Format 4. We have an Wholesale Evolution, we have an Humac Venture, we have an Beamer machine, we have an SCM Morbidelli, we have an SCM Record, some Vicky machines, and also a VTAP machine. This is some selection out of the possibilities we can connect to. I can choose now one machine, or in our demo session I like to choose all the machines to create for every machine the CNC files. By site, I like to have also my document manager run. I ask for the AutoCAD files for the single part drawing for every panel which are involved in my cabinet. And I like to have also a picture. If I like to display it also as an EPS format, we can do that, but not necessary. I start my document manager run. I tick on the furniture I select from my document manager, and now imos is creating the documents for all necessary information in my production folder. We see here now the CAM center is running. We open our production folder. We have here a new folder called Sideboard. Again, we have to run the document manager. In the new folder Sideboard, we will have now every single part drawing and also the explosion view imos is just creating for us. And also in the same im order, which is our production folder, is an FXM folder. In the FXM folder we have every machine which I choose, including the CNC files. So if I open here a BizU Rover, we have here the CX format. If I open here the Format 4, we have the TNG files. For the wholesale we have the HOP file. For the SCM we will have the file for the Silog Plus solution. We have the MPF files for the Humac group. We have the FMC file for the EMA group. And for the VTAP we have also the TNG file, and so on. So in the same folder we find now our folder with all the single part drawings as the DWG as the picture. I can open one of them. Here we have the explosion view with the link to the TOKIC, and here we have the explosion view with a link to the partition. We have the front view saved as a picture and as a DWG file, the isometric view, we have the side view, and now we have every single part view saved as a picture and as an AutoCAD file. This is very important for the production. The pictures we will need in our reports, and the single part drawings we will use for the CNC machines and also for the workshop. I close it here. I go back to the FXM folder where we have all the CNC files. Now I will open, for example, the SCM software. This is the software on the machine, Silog Plus, and we are able to link that software to our production folder. We open the folder, and we see now here it's linked to the sideboard. We open that, im order, sideboard, fxm folder, and now we choose the SCM record. And now we have here the PGM file, which is a language, the file language of SCM. I open it here, and I got exactly the CNC information for my SCM machine. We can have a look also on the picture. Here we have the top shelf with the drillings for the cam and dowel connection. We have here the grooving involved in, and so on. As next as we could also close it, we could also open BizU Works, which is the VOP software for all BizU machines. In BizU Works the same. We could open the CNC folder, we choose a BizU rover, and then we open something like a side panel. Here we have the basic information for the side panel, so the finished dimensions. We have here the picture, including all the CNC files. So we have here the drilling for the minifix, for the cam fittings. If I tick on it here, we got the information of diameter 50 millimeter. We have here the position, where to drill and how to drill. We got also the tooling for that drillings and so on. The same for the grooving, for our connections, for the adjustable shelf and so on. Every single drilling is now saved as a CNC file for the BizU machine. The same we can open here from the homework group, an MPF file. Now it's coming up the woodwop system displayed with the side panel number 1002. Here we have the grooving again. We have here adjustable shelves. We have the drilling for the minifix for the cam connections. From the side we have the drillings for the dowels and so on. So every panel is saved as an CNC file according to your machine, what you have in your workshop. It is a waste of time to do the programming of the machine on the machine manually. It will waste of time, and also you can do mistakes, many mistakes, which has to change in your CNC code, and imos will do that automatically with 100% of correct information according to your design and according to the hardware which are involved in your design. I close it, and I will now open the organizer. We will refresh it here, and we got here the new information of the sideboard. I tick on it, and for the sideboard I like to have also my reports. I have some reports in my computer here. I will open now the part list, for example. I will open the edge list, the document manager, the cutting list for the surface, and also the purchase parts, for example. These are some of many reports which you can customize by yourself. We will have also a label for a BizU machine, maybe for an IMA machine, for an SCM machine, VTAP machine, whatever you want. We open now the reports. The organizer is now creating out of the database information every report I choose in my list. The first will be the report for the production, the part list. We have here now the part list with the number of the part, the position of the part, the description and the material description according to my design, the dimensions, and also information for the etching. So also this list is affecting my etching list and also the grain direction of my surface. And we see here now for the top shelf, which is curved. These are the pictures from the IM order, that the first edge here, number 1, is applied with 2 mm, the second also with 2 mm, the third, the back one, is without edge banding, and number 4 is with edge banding. Also, this barcode will lead to the CNC file. If you have a barcode reader on your machine, you can scan the barcode and it will open the CNC file number 1001, which will be the CNC file for the top shelf. Every report you can save as an Excel, as a PDF, and as a Word document. So we will save this as an Excel. We will save that as an PDF, and we will save that as a Word document, and later on we will see how it looks like. The next report will be the etching list with the barcode of the etching material. Again, you can save that as Excel, Word, PDF. If you need it in your company, we have here the order name, we have here the etching, the material name, and also the length, width, and thickness. And also this information is affecting to the calculation later on. So if in your database is written that the ABS 2 mm costs per meter, for example, €2, then we will calculate it 0.7277 millimeter by €2, and we calculated for the complete list. So we have also the calculation for all edge banding material according to your design. The next is the doc manager. In the doc manager, we have here the pictures from our document, from our folder in the IM order. We have here the overview, we have the front view, the side view, and the plan view. And by the next one, we have every single panel displayed as the drawing, including dimensioning. We have here the small picture, which is the explosion view, including the link where this panel is located in that car case. We have here the name and also the barcode name. We have the barcode for the CNC machine. We have the material name and the dimensions. That for every panel which is involved in my sideboard. We have here the cutting list for the core material. This cutting list for sure we can save as Excel, PDF, or Word, or we can transfer it as process data to the machine. If you have a beam saw with an optimizer on it, like a shelling machine with HPO, or Holzma machine with cut right on it, we will send over the information of every panel to the machine. We have here the material name, we have the part name, the length, width, thickness, and also the quantity. And this information we can hand over to the optimizer of the beam saw. Or you can use it by your manual sliding table saw and so on. The next, also very important, we have here the purchase parts. So we can hand over information to your purchase department. Here we got the information out of the design catalog. The first I showed you in the organizer how to download the information from the design catalog and save it into your database. Here we have the information. We have here the quantity, how many Blum clip I need for my design. Here's the order number, the article number, and the manufacturer name. If I also save prices in my database, we have also prices involved in. So Blum is my design involved in, Chebi for the handles, Grass for the cam fittings. We have a Hettich handle, and we have some local sub hardware also involved in. So we can also extend the database by local supplier. If you buy some handles from your local supplier, or if you buy some fittings and so on, this you can also save in the database and use it in your design. Then we have here the labels. Here we have a label, typical one for the VTAP machine with information of the edge banding. We have here the information in front edge Zebrano 2 mm. We have the side edge banding information. We have here the barcode. If the VTAP machine has a barcode reader, they just scan it on the panel, and then we got the right CNC file for that machine. So for every machine we have here the CNC file, including the finished dimension, the order name, and also the position in that sideboard. That we can do for every machine. We have here the STM group, so the same for SCM files. This will lead to the PGM file, to the STM file of them in our production folder. The same for EMA. Here we have the FMC file behind. If you scan that barcode, it will lead to the FMC file to your machine. And again, for every panel, we have the CNC barcode. For the HOMAG group, the same. You can print it out on your beam saw, on your Holzmar machine, according to the cutting list. It will come out the label for each panel, and then you pick your label on the board, and then you scan the board in your CNC machine. And last but not least, for sure, we have also the BizU labels involved in with the same information. The next, what I like to do is, in imos, I showed to you the catalog. In the catalog, we do not have any sideboard. We just have in the living room category only a vitrine. Now the sideboard, this one here, I like to also save in my sales catalog and give them some limitations in terms of how long we can design it, parametric, and for the depth and for the width as well, and for the height, that our salespeople can use that new design in their sales solution, but with limitations. That means that the salespeople cannot design that or can use this design and extend it to 5 meters because we do not have any 5 meters board in our storage. For that, we just choose a picture. We go for the X-ray, for example. For the X-ray view, we just select a JPEG picture. We save that picture as a JPEG. We give them a name. We close it. We close the organizer. We have here our picture or JPEG. We open our imos catalog creator. Now here in imos catalog creator we have our two catalogs. The standard one comes by imos, and we have here our imos catalog. We have in the living folder just the vitrine, and we like to add on one more item. We give them a name, sideboard new. We give them also an XML name. We look for the picture. We will insert a picture. This one we did a minute ago. We choose that picture here. Here is my picture. We will select it and we agree with it. Then we open our configuration for the catalog. First of all, we link that to our sideboard. Then we give them also the limitation for our cells. In the width, we would say, okay, the width should be between 1.8 meters to 2.4 meters. We give them here the limitations. And we give them also a default value. I choose now 2.25 millimeter as a default. We agree with it. The same for the depths. We go in depths from maybe 400 to 600. 400 to 600. The default in the depths should be maybe 500. Agree with it. We give them also a height, 450 to 900. Okay, I agree with it. The default should be maybe 500. Agree. And then we update the imos catalog. It took us now 30 seconds. we choose now here the same selection of our material which we have already in the catalog. Now it finished our catalog, we go back to the organizer. And now we see in our sales catalog that we have one new item, the design of our sideboard we did 5 minutes ago. We go in that design here, go to the article, go to the catalog, go to the living room, and now we have here a new item, sideboard. We open it here, and we see that here we have our limitations in dimensions. We tore the configuration that we like to have in the width between 1.8 and 2.4 meters. The default should be 2250 millimeter. We can change it. If I say no, I like to have 2.4 meters. It is coming up a window and give me the information that no, it's not allowed to have 2.5 meters. We just have to between the limitations of 1.8 and 1.4 meter, 2.4 meters, and so on. So now we can do the configuration here, and okay, we apply it, and we will have it now in our sales. I go back to the organizer and close it again. The first what we did now was the sideboard. The next would be an article from a contour. For that I open a new one, a new sheet. So the sideboard we can close. I open the new sheet here, and I will have an article from a contour. For that I use the polyline, for example. I will design a cabinet with a roof angle. I can give them some dimensions of this polyline here. We like to design now a roof angle cabinet like this one here. Again, we go to the article designer. Now we go not for the standard article designer. We choose now the article from a contour. We have them. We have to save a name for that. We say roof underline demo, for example. And now we like to have an article from the front view, not from the plan view. We choose now the front view. We tick on my polyline, and now it will open the configuration of the roof angle cabinet. Again, we can change here the dimensions, but also we see here on the left side we have one more item or one more possibility to add on one more panel, because now we have a 5-panel cabinet, not a 4-side panel cabinet. The same with the sides. We have here our side panel 2000, which is our default value. I just go through the configuration and make a quick one. We give them again a toe kick. We give them not a back panel because the back panel would be too big for having flat packing. We give them some dividers. I like to add on divider we give them the partitions for the division, linear division, and now we tick on the first zone. Now we will do the back panel according to this zone here. We give them a fixed shelf from the bottom 600. In that shelf we like to involve in 3 drawers. We like to have some inner drawer systems from Blum, for example. The latest selection is always on top on my list here. We go in here and we say we like to have a lift with a close rail. And I go again to my database and I like to have a lift from Hettich. I choose a dual lift, for example. Here I like to have also adjustable shelf. I finish with the first zone. I copy it to the second one. We just change the lift to another one. To a single lift, for example. In this field, we add on a back panel and some adjustable shelves. We copy it and paste it. We save it and we give them a name. According to the shape of my polyline, we have now here the cabinet, the roof angle cabinet, including the close rail. We see here that the single close rail is a little bit too high, so we just select that part. We move the position in Y minus, for example, 100. The red box is telling us here now where we have the new position. We agree with it. And also the drillings of that lift will change according to the new position. So here we have the roof angle cabinet, including the information of the inner drawer system from Blum. We can have a look if it is in a Blum. I guess it's in Legra box. There's no sign in it, but all the drillings comes into our side panels. What we can do also is now we can change here the connection between both edges. Here the side panel goes through. I like to change it. I select the edge and the other edge. I go to my joint function. I change the joint from lengthwise to a miter solution. I agree with it. And now also my cam connection will change according to my new situation between both panels. The same we can do here on top level. We select both edges. We change the joint function to miter, and now we finished with our cabinet. The next what we can do is we also can transfer now the information to our cutting list. We can transfer our information to the CNC files. We can make the purchase part list. We explore every single panel as a DWG file. We save that as a CNC file for the different machines what we can install in our system, and so on. So very simple. The same way like to design a sideboard, we can design an article from a contour. The contour is depending on your situation on your customer side. Sometimes you got a contour from architect, or you got a contour from your own measurements, so that you can just write down in imos. You can also copy it from an AutoCAD file into imos and use the polyline as a contour. This was now a contour from a front side. The same you can do from the top view or from the side view. So there's every possibility to design a cabinet according to your needs of your customer. I will close it now. And as next, I have here a floor plan. This floor plan I like to use to create a flat with a closet, a flat with a kitchen, and also a flat with a living room. In the living room, I like to install my sideboard, which we designed as first together. For that, I use the room function here and I insert a wall. This is just a polyline from architect. So I choose now here a wall function from a polyline. I like to have a floor and a ceiling. I tick on it. Again, I have here the walls. As next is I like to insert some windows. I like to have windows from the floor until 2.15 meters, for example. The width should be 800. I like to have a free positioning. We also can position it according to my architect information. So here, just bring in some windows. As next as we can bring in also some doors. We choose now here a door, a single door with a standard white door. The height, the width should be 860. Free positioning. For the door we have here now the room. Here we like to install a double door. Double door with 1.5 meters in the width. Same door we will use here for the kitchen, for example. And here we can also add on a door as an entrance door. First, I like to start with my colors. I will erase or I will isolate the roof that I'm able to add on my cabinets. What we can do also, we can give the walls some colors. For that, we just open here the material browser in imos. We change the mode to conceptual mode, and here we have some wall paints involved in, so we can give them an orange wall by just drop and drag. We can make a very colorful wall design. That was the red one. Come back to red. We also can give the flat and flooring system. The flooring, for the flooring we choose, for example, a carpet. Here are different carpets involved in. You also can add on a carpet by yourself. Just take a picture and put the carpet in. That's it actually. So here we have now from the architect the polyline. We create out of it our room situation, and now we add on our furniture. For that I start with a closet. I open my catalog. We have now here our four folders in our catalog, which you can design by yourself. I choose now the closet catalog, and inside the closet catalog I just start with a typical cabinet. We see here now the closet is an open closet which has a C construction. I open it. I choose now a color. The dimensions are okay for me. We can change it if I like to. Now I just tick on the wall. And also we have here the item where we like to place that cabinet here. Again, I tick on the wall to make the positioning, and very smart, we put it to the corner of both walls. And now we see here that we have the cabinet, left side panel, top shelf, the drawer sets, also the close rail, but no right side panel. And there's no connection, no drilling for it. In imos, we designed here a sequence construction, and every next panel which we add on to that cabinet will hand over also the connection to it. So again, I open my catalog. I choose another one, maybe this one here. I tick on the last furniture, make the positioning directly to the right side, and now we see here that the connection comes by the next panel. Even the connection for the adjustable shelf and the connection for the double and cam fitting. So that is the logic behind imos, that you can also create a C connection, and in closets, very common to have that middle panel between the next one. In kitchens we have car case by car case. In closet very often we use middle panel where we have this C connection. Both we can display right now. So we go again with the next type of closet. We just add on some more furniture. What we'll do is we have a look from the top view to fill the gap between the wall here. Choose another one. All this furniture I designed before and save it in my catalog, and now we have here a certain distance of 909 millimeter. What we have to do now is we have to calculate the next cabinet between this gap here, which means 909 millimeter minus 90 millimeter for the end panel. I open my configuration. I choose now type number 4, give them a new distance of 890 millimeter. I agree with it, and here we have exactly 90 millimeter between the cabinet and the wall. I add it on, and last but not least, we choose the end panel, which has 90 millimeter thickness. Here we see that. We agree, we add it on, and we finalize with the complete cabinet. In that way we can customize a bedroom with our catalog, and we give them, the salespeople, limitations according to the design and also according to the hardware which we like to involve in that design. What we can do now is also we can bring in some decoration. We will use for the decoration our tool palettes. We add on a bed, for example. We rotate the bed to have a nice rendering later on. We bring that in a position. We can have a chair in my bedroom. We rotate again the chair. We could add on a lamp for the corner, for example. All this decoration we can download in our in the web. We can add on some shirts to the closets that we have later on in the rendering, a nice picture. So we have here a shirt. Which we just have to position to my closet. So we just hang it on the rail here. We just copy it and put it many times to my closet. Just some samples. All these design materials you can download in the web. What we like to do as well, we like to add on some flowers, and then we will download, for example, a picture to have a complete design of our bedroom. For download something, we just go to the warehouse, 3D warehouse, where we can download some modules. We ask for paint. We get now a selection of some paints. We can select now every paint. We choose maybe this one here. We go for download the module. We hand it over to imos. We have to scale it because it is in American inch, I guess so. We move it to the right position. Again, we have to move it. Now we can double check the height by the properties. We can have a look on the room. It's a little bit too high, so again we change the properties to 800, for example. Now the position is okay. The next what we can do is we can set our sideboard. Later on we will do the rendering. We set now the sideboard into the living room. We open again our catalog. We go to the living room one. We start with a vitrine. We agree with the dimensions. We find a position of our vitrine. Then we put in the sideboard, which we designed before. Here we can do the configuration. Again, we agree with it. Choose now here this position here. We bring in also some decoration. We ask for the tool palettes again. We add on a sofa set. All these sofas we download from the internet, free of charge for everybody, just for having have a design possibilities. Here on the sideboard we like to add on also a TV. So again we go for download and ask for a TV. We ask for TV, for example, with 70 inch. Now we got some results here. We choose the Samsung. We download it. We put it to the right position. We bring it in the right rotation. We have to scale it. Again, we put it into the right position. We could have a look on it. Now we see that the TV is a little bit too low. We go to the properties. We say you are in position 200. And now we will start with the kitchen. go again to the top view of the complete flat. To be a little bit faster, we will bring in also here in the entrance some decoration. We will isolate all this furniture to be a little bit faster in kitchen design. Now we go to the kitchen and we open again the catalog for the kitchens. We start with, any time we will start with a corner cabinet. We go to the wall where we like to install it, and now in imos we could set also a toe kick high. Now the kitchen will be set with a toe kick high. As next, we just have to add on cabinet by cabinet. We just choose some of them. And now we go from the other side to have later on the kitchen in the right size. On the other side, I like to add on some tall cabinets. Okay. We see here now the 150 millimeter or the height of the cabinet. Again, the same cabinet for the other side. We go now back to the top view and add on one more bottom cabinet here. And now we will do the measurement between both cabinets to customize. It's exactly 700. We are in luck, so we just have to find a cabinet who will match 700 millimeter. We change this to 700. We add it on to the other bottom cabinet. As next is we will add on a toe kick and a work surface. For that we go to the imos toe kicks. We choose a toe kick high of 150 millimeter. We just select the first and the last cabinet, and automatically we will organize the toe kick in an L shape. The same we will do with the worktop. We have to double check the cabinet number 1 and the last one, and automatically we have also the work surface. We add on now some cabinets for the top shelf, for the wall. We go for the wall catalog, and for that we choose a standard wall cabinet with some plates in it. For example, we choose another width, maybe of 600. We could choose another height. We select the wall, and now again we don't like to have a toe kick. We have for the wall cabinets a certain distance from the surface of the worktop. and then we put it to the next. In the corner, we like to also involve in a wall cabinet with a corner cabinet. We choose now here the wall corner cabinet, 755. We choose the same height. We add on now some more cabinets. I did a mistake. I have to choose the same height, 755. Go again to that cabinet here, add it on. Then we have to choose also a cabinet for the other side, 600 and 755. We add it on here. And then we will finish with an wall shave, 755 again, add it on the side panel. We like to add on also here a sink and a cooking field. We go to our database, to our catalog, and go for the sink. We choose the sink. We just add it onto this cabinet here, and then we can also bring it into the position. The same with the cooking field. Then we like to have also here a dust extraction for our kitchen. For that we can go again to the internet and ask for dust extraction. There are a lot of possibilities. We choose now a module from Bosch, for example. Here we have all the ovens which we can involve in our kitchens, cooking fields and so on. Choose now here on dust extraction. Here is the Bosch line. We just download that module. And then we will put it into the kitchen. We have to consider the inch. Then we will move it to the top. We have a look how does it is for the position. We see now the position is not very accurate, so we move it a little bit. It is just for the first idea of the rendering. Again, we can choose now some decoration. We have here some plants and so on. We can choose now also here the color of our worktop. I like to have Zebrano. Last but not least, we set our cameras in our configuration. We show all elements from our flat. So our flat is now full equipped with the closet, with the living room and with the kitchens. For that we start to have the renderings. I go for presentation. I create a camera. The first camera we set into our living room, into our bedroom, for example. We put it into a position of this corner, for example. We give the camera a height of 1.4 meters. Then we put it into the position where we like to have a look on. So we go for this direction here. We give them also a height. What we can do according to the properties of this camera, we have here the preview. We can also change some settings in the camera. The lens width, for example, we go for 30, not for 50, for example. We can change here the height and so on. I guess for the first picture it's good enough. We can have a look how is the picture of this camera. For that we add on the lighting, we add on the background and illumination from the sky. We go for conceptual mode. And now we will have a look. What is this one here? We will have a look on the render process. We will start the rendering. And it took us around 1 to 3 minutes according to your computer power. To have the first picture of our closet. I guess the brightness is okay. We see in the background also the wall in orange and green color, which we did as a first setting when we bring in the walls from the architect. We see the big picture which we download from the internet. The bed is there, the flowers, and also in the cabinet we see some shirts on a hanger. So it is very simple to create your own catalog in imos, to give them or hand it over to the sales and to create a rendering. For sure this would be a rendering. I choose now a resolution of 640 by 480, which is not the biggest resolution. For sure, if you go into the HD field, it would be much more longer to finish with the picture. But for the mostly the customer is sitting in front of you and waiting for a quick picture how it look like at the end, and now finalize with this rendering. I guess it take us 2 minutes to have a first view how the closet could look like. Is that picture good enough? And also for a sales picture, it is nice. We have here the sun coming in. We have a picture from the internet download as a design tool. The bed, the hangers, give the furniture also a little bit more style, living style. We have we can choose different colors for the walls, and that is for the first picture, for the first rendering. After 2 minutes rendering time, not too bad. So now we have here also the information later on when we finish with the rendering. How long does it took? Now we finished with the rendering. It took us 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It is okay. The picture is okay. We saved it as cam_1, so camera 1 as a JPEG. We saved it. We are okay with the resolution. We close it. We go back to the wireframe and to the top view. We set another camera in our closet. Set a camera. Location will be here. The height is 1.4 meters again. We give them a view. again. Again, we choose the location of this camera here. I don't know why it's not working. Try it here in that corner. We go for the camera. We go to the properties. We change the height, target height of 2 mm, 1.2 meters. We will choose another lens width of 30. The previous is now recalculating. And then we save this order here. We will use the organizer for creating some documents out of it. The lens should be 30 mm. And that's fine with me. I like to have the picture from the living room as well. I go into the conceptual mode again. I choose camera number 2. We activate the background illumination. And we will do the rendering also for our living room. What we see now, it is a little bit darker. That is because of the position of the living room. We can stop the rendering process. We go to our sun. What we can do in the sun also is we can change the time for the sun. Now it's by 3 o'clock in the evening. We go back to 10:30 in the morning. And now again we do the rendering to have also the sun influence in that room. It is depending on the position of your drawing where is the best setting for your sun. So after you recognize that the picture is a little bit too dark, you just change the position of the sun and you will have now also the influence out of the window into your room. We see now that we will see that the windows had the sun shining involved in. Now you feel also that the picture is much more brighter like before. What we will see also is here that we have a glass door, so we have a look also into the entrance of our flat. Now here is the sun shining. Again, there is something I like to increase a little bit. Again, I start the rendering process for that picture. And now again, it took us around 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes to have the rendering from the living room, including the sideboard, which we designed as a first step in our presentation. And that sideboard we also display in the sales catalog. The resolution is now the same like before. We have a size of a picture of 640 by 480. Here in the top corner you can change the resolution up to HD format or much bigger. What we also can do is we have an interface to professional render systems like Cinema 4D to just use that 3D format in an high-end renderer to make high-gloss renderings. In imos we are using the AutoCAD rendering software from AutoCAD 2013. It is for a quick picture very good and very fast. Most of you know that in rendering you can spend a lot of time, up to 3, 4, 5 hours to finalize with a room like this, to have that in a high gloss format. What we see now here in that picture is that we have the TV downloaded, exactly that from the internet. We see that here the vitrine has glass doors, so the sun which shine into the room will be mirror on the glass door. In the bottom area it's a little bit darker, so here we can see the inner drawer systems behind the glass door. We have here also the windows with the window legs involved in, the glass door to the entrance room, and there's also, I guess, a flower and also a small table which could be displayed on that picture here. The sofa is here. I just downloaded the sofa from the internet again, like we did it with the TV. And now I hope that we finish soon with our picture here. The same we can do with the kitchen, or we could go over to the subtitle drawings first of all and have a look how we can bring out customized drawings and so on. The renderer time is also depending on your computer speed, on your computer power. Right now I'm using a Dell computer with an Core i5 processor in it. It is not the latest version. If you go up to i7 and to a higher memory, for sure it will have a half size of or half time of rendering. Now that picture took us a little bit more according to my feeling. We see that the wall behind me is in red color we chose before. We have here the window with the legs. Now it took us 3 minutes and 45 seconds. We will save the same copy as camera number 2. Save it. The same we can do for the kitchen, but I think it's good enough for display the render solution to you. I will go now for the subtitle drawings. I will first of all isolate the roof. We have a look from the top view, and now we decrease the information of our cabinets. We start now with the drawings. We start with a plan view of our flat. In the plan view we just display the walls and the furniture which are involved in the wall. So no other design modules are in our plan view. We give them a name. We can make a quick dimensioning of the kitchen and of the other things. What we can do as well is we make an elevation view. We tick on the furniture and we just bring the icon in position and have a look from the front view to the closet. It will cut now complete to this flat and have also on display to the wall of the kitchen. Here we see now the closet and the kitchen. In the kitchen important is to see the drawers and also the doors, how the doors are open. We have here the drawer sets. Here's the corner door. Here's another corner door. We will also make an elevation view from the kitchen. Here with this icon we can have a the look from the front view to the kitchen. Again, we make an elevation view to that. Once we change anything in our configuration, the elevation view will also change according to the new configuration. Here we have the kitchen, we have here some drawers, here are some doors, we have here also a fixed front panel where is the sink. Here's a cooking field. Here we have a door which is open to the top direction, some shelves, and so on. Also, the handles are displayed in our view here. What we can do now is also we can do the dimensioning for the kitchen, and I like to copy that picture here, for example. I copy it and bring it into my imos environment. And as next, I load a border, a new sheet. That sheet I will, in that sheet we have, for example, 4 windows. We can customize the windows. We go to the top view, and now we can link the views to our window here. Just link that to the window. Here we can save a picture. And here, if we like to do also have the complete room section, we go for the isometric view. We activate, for example, the X-ray, that we have a little bit more impression of our room. And then we save that, or we export it as a PDF, and our customer who is sitting in front of us, he has a complete idea how his kitchen, here's the kitchen, will look like, how the bedroom will look like, the living room, and so on. So this we will export as a PDF. We give them a demo plan name, or we give them just a name, customer XY. We save it to our desktop, and then we have this configuration with a floor plan, with the side view of the kitchen, with the rendering, and also with an impression of the complete room situation, saved as a PDF in our database, in our computer. This we can print out as a paper to our customer who is sitting in front of us according to the plan view. We will later on also create a quotation including the pictures of all furniture which are involved in my configuration. After exporting the complete process with rendering and with the floor plan, we will save this one here. Here we have the design catalog. We can close it again. We have here the pictures. We can close. And then we will open the imos organizer. In the organizer, we have now the possibility to design our reports by ourselves. As I told you before, we have here the element manager. in the Elementor we have the reports, and now I like to have a special quotation. For that I open a quotation, the report builder for it. This software comes with imos. We have here in the right side the properties, and the left side the information for our reports. This is a standard report. I already organized sample for customer. I just call them Indian Kitchen, for example, and they have here the address. I copy this address, which is just in Word format, to my report. I give them here a new name. For example, I call them Innovative Kitchen. I like to have the logo involved in. I insert a logo. I have here my logo, which I designed before, and that logo I put into the top corner. Now Indian Kitchen needs also an Indian currency. We just select the pricing fields, and we go to our properties here, where we have a language code. In the language code we choose now the Indian currency. Now we have the Indian currency involved in this. The complete one we will save. As a new report. We give them a new report name. We call that Indian demo quotation. We save that here. Close it. In the organizer, we open a new report. We give them also a new name. Indian demo quotation. Now we import the quotation we did. Here's the PDF. We save it to our database. We close it. We go back to imos. We will now save the complete design which we did here. We save the order under the name demo plan or Indian demo. We can now do also the CNC file for every panel which are involved in our configuration. And now every single panel, every single cabinet, and every single worktop is saved in that order. We go to our organizer. We refresh our orders here. I tick on the Indian order. And here we got the list of all hardware which is involved in my quotation. So here we got the pictures from the closets. Here is the pictures from the sideboard we did before. That is a picture which we saved in our catalog. And also we have now here the pricing. For that we choose now customer. We choose now the calculation principle. We did that before for Indian sales in daily. It was at the beginning. Now the complete order is calculating according to my calculation principle. I got now here price. This is okay, my organizer is saved in dollar currency, but we will see later on the report. We will do now the report for the Indian demo quotation that we have the currency in Indian rupees. Here is my quotation. Here are my positions from my design. We have here the Indian price. As I told you before, we set 12.33 for Azim as a VAT cost. We have here the unit price plus the total. So in the quotation, it's just displayed the VAT and the unit price as in total price. We have here all the cabinet which we involved in our design until the last one, and here we have the complete amount. There's no discount and so on involved in. What we can do is we can go to our organizer, we open the order, and we can give him here discounts in 5%, for example. It will calculate also the value, or if you change in value like $20, it will calculate also the discount for that. And also my margin will reduce. This we can do in imos by calculation and by also creating our own reports. Now the same like before, we hand it over to the production, we make the document manager for every cabinet, we do the cutting list, we do the labels, we did the rendering for both rooms, the kitchen we can do as well, and then we finalized for the customer by the PDF. In the PDF he has a floor plan, he has an rendering picture, a side view of the kitchen, and also the isometric view of the complete flat. So with these documents we can give the customer in front of us a quotation, we can give him pictures, renderings, floor plans, and on the back side we also have all information for our purchase department by the purchase part list we can extract off. We have the cutting list for the production, we have also the calculation for our complete process, and we have all CNC files for every machine. So in the complete process of imos, from the sales down to the machine, we have every single step involved in. As well as we can connect imos to also local ERP systems to read in your particle board costings, so to have an interchange to your purchase department, to have an interchange to your stock, and so on. Those we can organize as well. But from the first point of view, from the sales down to the machine, we have every single step involved in imos, and the customer is happy with a quick rendering, is happy with a floor plan and the side view and the dimension view of his kitchen. We can give him the complete paperwork. And now I guess we have here also the part list we extract before. So also the part list we can save as Excel, Word and PDF. Every single step for sale of furniture and produce it, including the costing, we can display in the complete process of imos. I guess now we will finalize with our daily online session. I hope that I give you a short overview of our software solutions. The topic was integrated software solution for the furniture makers and for the interior design. We did some furniture, we did a sideboard and a roof angle board, we did a floor plan, we did some renderings, we did a calculation, we customized a report, we also add on an article to your customized catalog. That we have also in the sales the possibility to create furniture in the order entry process and also give them some limitations. So from sales to the machine, I hope that I give you a small overview about our solution, and I would like to finish with my presentation today. I hope you enjoyed, and for any further information we are welcome to contact us by our website, by our email, and also by all the exhibitions we take part. And I hope to see you soon in the next future. And say thank you for your attending to our daily online demo. Okay, bye-bye.